Alright. Money in the Bank 2022. It's been a week and a half now, so I don't want to get too much time since it's Passover. It's a little out of date for it's way late out of date. So yeah, let's get into Money in the Bank. It was a fun show. You can tell in most of it, it was pretty much a filler show, knowing something is coming literally less in a month, like this exact month on like end of July. So, and the bill wasn't that too special, where especially since it had Real Roman, who was supposed to be on this show. Now he wasn't, so yeah. But for a show that had without him, it turned out to be pretty good. It turned out to be a solid show. So let's start off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You had Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Asuka, um, Alexa Bliss, Raquel Rodriguez, Sashi, and Lacey Evans. Those were the 7 people. Strahua, and I got it right. So, women's Money in the Bank match. Ugh. This wasn't good. Like, it was. It had some good spots, but the majority of the spots were not good. And they looked rough at times, especially with Shotzi. I noticed being a little like even like roughly with some spots in that match. This wasn't good. Like it wasn't completely horrible, but it was a mess throughout most of them. Like I think by the end it got mildly decent, but nothing to write home about the rest of the match. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't. It wasn't bad. It wasn't well. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. So yeah. But by the end, by the end of the finish, with Liv and Becky won. Well, Liv and Becky were good, and Liv Morgan won the match. She's Miss Money in the Bank. We will get to her in a few minutes here. So yeah, Liv Morgan won here in a pretty rough match. Pretty rough match, to say the least. You can call it I think you can say this was a disappointment because I kind of expected a little bit for the match, but like the women Money in the Bank are never the women are so some of the women so things that you note that some of the spots in when they're going to break they're never gonna do because those women are so tiny, so those women look good. Like when Becky hit the leg drop on Asuka on from the ladder to the lights up in the ring and the announce table, I should expect him will embrace. So yeah, kind of disappointment match if you can say. So United States Championship, Bobby Lashley versus now Theory. He's no longer Austin Theory, but just Theory. Jeez. I like how many times they're gonna change that. So yeah. So Bobby Lashley also so, try. I get Austin Theory in my head so many times whenever first that guy, but like I remember then I remember he's just called Theory. So yeah. Bobby Lashley Theory, it was a pretty good match, really good. I can tell Austin Theory. I tried to get that name off of my head, but I just can't. I just can't. God help me. I will get through him in just a few minutes. In just a few moments. Oh God. But like yeah. Bobby Lashley Theory. You can tell it's getting better in the ring by the day. But the more I see him, he's getting better at anything we work. And Lashley, man, when I saw his reaction and the reaction to his title win, that made me think that I think that was that it was at that moment, that very moment, I was like, they could put it in a SummerSlam title match with Roman Reigns, and I will buy it 100%. And you can you can tell that he is so over with the crowd that at that moment it made me think he probably should have faced someone like Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for a Universal Undisputed title. And I will get to Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar in another video, probably come out the day before or the day of SummerSlam. So stay tuned for that. So Bobby Lashley had a really solid match. Well, it was kind of slow at the beginning. They kind of pick up the end, and Lashley used the Hurt Lock to win the U.S. title, and yeah, it was a pretty solid match. All good all around. So the Raw Women's title match was next. So it was Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's title against Carmella. It was supposed to be Rhea Ripley, but I don't know what exactly happened. I think she was hurt or something. But yeah, so that happened. So I was bummed out because I was really looking forward to the match, and yeah, it was for what it was alright. The match, Bianca versus Carmella for the moment. Like Carmella is someone that you can put a match, you can put in a spot like this, and she won't necessarily embarrass herself. Like, I don't find too fondly of the character, but like, for what she is in the ring, she's good. She's, I think, better than most women on that roster, in my opinion. But yeah, and she did make Bianca look good, which was probably the most important part. So Bianca retained here and Carmella beat her up to probably set up another rematch, probably before SummerSlam, because I do think it's Bianca Belair will face Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, especially like, and I will play the fantasy booking card here, since this is going to Becky's Lynch's story and her downward spiral. I will have her lose to Bianca 26 seconds, the exact same matter at the same show last year at SummerSlam. That's what I would do personally. But yeah, it was so it was a decent match between Bianca and Carmella, and Bianca retained the women's title. The next, which was I think pretty much match of the night, the Usos versus the Street Profits for the undisputed tag team titles, and boy oh boy, like this match, like this is one of the matches where you thought like, nah, this is a foregone conclusion that the Usos are winning, like so obvious. They got a steamroll the Street Profit, and at the beginning, it kind of was for me, but like, but as the match progressed, they had me more and more and more, especially at that near fall. Like, Montez Ford, he's a beast. He's a fucking beast in that ring. And yeah, when it's all said and done, Montez Ford should have a really breakout future in this company, alongside guys like Theory and even on NXT Braun Breaker, Mark Moss. He's gonna turn out really. He should turn out really great for the company. So, which is, I feel bad for Angel Dawkins because he's pretty much being overshadowed by Montez. But give that dude his spot. He didn't embarrass himself in that ring in that match. So yeah, and that near fall with the false splash, and like I think the spot was on like, I don't know who. I think it was Jay, and then like Jimmy saves it at the very last minute. That crowd totally bought that the Street Profits were gonna win, and they had me for that. So yeah, so this was a really awesome match with a finish with the Usos winning with the 1D, and the Usos won with a very shady finish. As you can see, they hit the 1D, but Montez Ford's shoulder wasn't really on the mat. Like you can tell the replay, like they clearly had Montez Ford's shoulder on the Lakers basically off the mat. So yeah, so the Usos retain, and the finish gives them if not reason to the Street Profit get a rematch at SummerSlam, which they're gonna do. So really great match of the night for me. Really great stuff. The SmackDown Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey defending against Natalya, and this whole thing was pretty much probably one of the most talked about segments of the entire show. As far as Ronda Rousey and Natalya, this was like average. This was decent, but not good and not even great. Which if I can say Ronda Rousey's in-ring work in 2022 is average, that's me being generous. Like, to say she's fully in the ring will be generous of me, but that's what pretty much she's been throughout this entire run in 2022 with Ronda. Like she puts that she only gives her only like decent amount of work. Like she's not really full into it like she used to be 3 or 4 years ago. Like she's not really into it. Like she only puts her work on minimal effort and just fully in the ring. And kind of really half-assed it. So that's what pretty much sums. So that was this match pretty sums up Ronda Rousey's in river since she came back this year. So yeah, I mean for what it was fine. But like when you think about the person Ronda was facing, Natalya, and you know Natalya's reputation of being really good, I kind of expect them a bit more, but it wasn't. So yeah, and Ronda and the finish was kind of underwhelming with Ronda. I expected more with the armbar there. I kind of expected to do a little bit more, but the match was over and Ronda just retained. It's like, okay. So yeah. So that match happened. But the aftermath is what's got everyone talking about after this. So Ronda Rousey was like selling the injured leg from Natalya was working on throughout that match, the previous match. And then Liv Morgan, I don't know where, cashes her in. And Liv Morgan, who just won Money in the Bank. Just won Money in the Bank. Cashes it in for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And boy, that they really had, like the Usos Street Profits, they had me. Even though I kind of but it's like, it's Liv Morgan and she, it's Liv Morgan and the type of situation she's in the company. Like, you would expect her to give her much, if anything, to Ronda Rousey, and boy oh boy, she delivered. Like, when Ronda had her lock Liv in the angle, I think they pretty much had everyone because it was like they gotta have Liv loose and fail her cash in for the woman for the first time ever in the women's history playing the bank. They really had me in there, but Liv cashed her leg, like attached the injured leg, rolls Ronda up. 1, 2, 3, and Liv Morgan is now the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Wow. Not many people going in expected this, and really mean because Liv, and even the interview they had her backstage where Liv was talking about, I want to just celebrate. I just want to enjoy the moment of winning the Money event. And then she immediately catches them like the very next hour or so, and wins the whole goddamn women's title. Like, oh my god. And I thought the commentators' reactions from Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were really well done. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, even though it has kind of happened many times, especially with the women's Money in the Bank, how they will cash in how they will win the Money in the Bank, and then literally the next hour or so, they will have that person cash in and win the title the very same night that they won the briefcase. It's kind of becoming tiresome. I hope they stop doing that. And for me, if they were gonna do this whole thing with Liv and Ronda, I would rather hold off until SummerSlam where Liv win could actually mean something as if she won one of the big pay-per-views of the year. But Ronda Rousey's work as babyface champion, her entire work as babyface this year has not been situated in any way. She hasn't hit on all fires. Like her promos pretty much suck. The characters of babyface does not nearly work. And if they want to have Liv win the title, have be done as the way to turn Ronda Rousey heel, and have her had the run as a heel, then I'm fine with this. And Liv Morgan is like, she's popular. She's kind of over and done with. They could put her in a spot like this, but I really get too wholesome for that Liv Morgan having a long run with a women's title. Like, I do expect her to lose. Pretty much give it back to Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. But like I said, if it leads to a prop to the turn of Ronda Rousey as a heel, if that leads to, then I'm fine. As we can all agree that Ronda Rousey is a much better heel. Personality wise, character wise, she's pretty much better at that than as a face. So yeah. So really wild stuff with Liv Morgan as becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion. That leads to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. You had Seth Rollins versus Widow, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Omos, Madcap Moss, Sami Zayn, and then the final entry as Adam Pearce just came out and announced the 8th participant, which was Daring. Now I got his name right. Daring. And yeah, as soon as he came out, you can pretty much know what the finish was gonna be. Like, I don't think there was any doubt at that point that Theory wasn't going to win at that point, which I don't know, because the match was really good between all the 8 guys, like Rollins, Widow, Theory, McIntyre, Sheamus, Omos, Zayn, Madcap. They all did their thing. Like, it's like this match it also kinda did a good job of hiding Omos' weakness and show his strengths to what he can do in the ring. As in a multi-man match like that, he can do most of the big spots and not having to do a lot, which was good, I think. And like the match was like really good. It had some really good spots. Now, I don't know, like, this is the best. I don't think it's the best Money in the Bank ladder match of all time, but like, this was, I think it's kind of up there with most of Money in the Bank matches. But yeah, this was a really good stuff. But like, the finish for me was never in that. When Riddle was climbed, hit the RKO Seth Rollins from the ladder, I think I knew at that point they were just gonna fuck it up, win Money in the Bank. And that's exactly what he did. He pushed Riddle off the ladder, and Theory is now the men's, women's, no, not the woman. What? Oh my god. With Theory won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So yeah, Theory won the men's Money in the Bank. Now we have the chance of cashing in the world title anytime he wants. And like I said earlier, Theory is getting better the way. Like the more I see him, he's been proved a lot in the ring. Like he's really good in the ring. His character is good, even though the bench stuff is weird and the whole selfie stick. Like I have no idea what that's supposed to be, but like him winning Money in the Bank is like I would get behind WWE pushing a young guy like this since their dire need of some new fresh top guys, people in the company. So I'm fine with Theory winning as long they don't have to, like, I don't think it's beneficial to him to have like a Barry Corbin cash in. Like if he cashes in like I SummerSlam then loses, like what a fucking waste will that be on Money in the Bank, and a waste to Theory to have him win a match like that and then have him lose like quickly soon after trying to cash in and fail. That's not gonna do him wonders. And like give him time, like build him up some momentum. Give it like 6-8 months of him building, so where if he can win the world title by 2023, like I will not have him win the world title until 2023 as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, so if they can build him up, so like them build Theory over the next 6 to 8 months and get him ready by 2023, it should be fine. But they just had to be careful how they broke him as Mr. Money in the Bank. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting how they broke him going forward as Money in the Bank. So yeah, so Theory won, and all in all, this show was pretty solid. Like I said, like this, for all intents and purposes, was pretty much a filler stuff going into SummerSlam, since they really didn't have much star power as they gotta have at SummerSlam. So this show turned out fine. It was good. So yeah, like, subscribe, tell me what you think about Money in the Bank in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Marines, and I have brewed these matches.